Thank you. Is that a date? Maybe it's not a date. You won't be able to. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Am I audible? Okay. Thank you very much to the honorable councillors that are present with us here today, representing the executive mayor for Polokwane, Dade John Mbe, represented by Councillor Mashawani, and the Councillor Mamabulo representing the Executive Mayor for Capricorn District Municipality, Mayor Mamudu Bitifo, to the board chairperson, Datidi Bila, with the members of the board accompanying him, the Chief Executive Officer for Limpopo Tourism Agency, Dade Moses Ngobeni, the Chief Executive Officer for the Tourism Business Council, Dade Chifiwa Chibengwa, and the Chief Executive Officer for Africa Tourism Partners, Dade Donko, members of the media present, ladies and gentlemen, the members from the industry, Tobela. Dima seare, or dima dekwan. Oh, yes, let for dima seare, ne? What you remember? Yes, thank you so much. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are having a hybrid event. I would want to confirm with the tech team, those that are joining us online, if we are audible. We are good. Thank you so much. You are all welcome. This is the 8th installment of the Africa Tourism Leadership Forum and the Awards, which is the 2026 installment being hosted in the beautiful province of Limpopo, in the host city of Stars, the Polokwane municipality being the host city for this magnificent event that we are here today for the media launch. My name is Kile Abeti Gawani. I'm the Deputy Director General for Environmental Affairs and Tourism in the Department of Limpopo Economic Development, Environment and Tourism. Tonight, I will be the Program Director to facilitate the proceedings for the evening. As I've already indicated, this is the 8th installment of the African Tourism Leadership Forum. There are quite a number of speakers that are lined up to share with us the wealth of information why this important event for us as a host province. I will not waste any time. I will call to the fore Councillor Mshamani, who is the NMC for Spatial Development for Limpopo and LED, representing the Polokwane Local Municipality Mayor, Ndate Jolibe. Let's give her a round of applause.
Good evening. What's all? What? Nani tanchusha lupu mchukuli. Utawala kanile mechi mkua tena. Are mwenche. Ipunchi t-shirt haite. Mwiki ya kama. Wai sabiraya na alina gana ya hoki kikono utaramu. Skela tshwenyega le tla bona gore le mengwaga ya counter. A re tšhabe selo, a re tšhoge selo, a re gaine selo, a re lose selo. Se re se gainang ke lethabo le go ba le lena ka motsotswana. Program Director, Honorable MEC for Limpopo Economic Development and Tourism, Ntate Shitereke Madibe, in their absentia. Aska babona, hanki babona. You really want to say that hanki spear. Okay, no. Le a tseba gore bana le mešongwana e mentši ba tla re humana. E ba fitlha le tla ba botša gore ke ba dubedišitše. Chairperson of the Limpopo Tourism Agency Board, Mr. Andrew Dibela, Executive Mayor of Capricorn, as she is represented by our Councillor in our midst. Executive Mayor, Director for Africa Department at UN Tourism, Ms. Elshia Granda. You'll pardon me for the surnames which I see for the first time. Director at the AFCFTA Secretariat, Ms. Emily Mburu Doria, Chief Executive Officer of the Tourism Business Council of South Africa, Mr. Chifiwa Chivengwa. Chief Executive Officer of Africa Tourism Partners, Mr. Kwanye Donga, Provincial Chairperson of SAACI, Ms. Khabu Parker, distinguished delegates, captains of industry, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, Dumela Ntobelanda. It is both an honor and a profound privilege to welcome you to the city of Polokwane for the 8th Africa Tourism Leadership Forum and Awards here at the magnificent Meropa Casino and Entertainment World. On behalf of the people of the city of Polokwane, I extend warm African hospitality to every delegate gathered under this roof this afternoon. As we say in Africa, a visitor brings a new eyes to the village. Your presence here fills our city with ideas, possibilities, partnerships, and renewed continental hope. We are deeply honored that this prestigious continental gathering is hosted in our province through the leadership of Limpopo Department of Economic Development, Environment and Tourism under the stewardship of the Limpopo Provincial Government. This forum arrives at a defining moment for Africa, a moment when the continent is repositioning itself as a formidable architect of its own destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, tourism is no longer merely about postcards and beautiful landscapes. Tourism has become the currency of culture, diplomacy, economic transformation, job creation, and continental integration. It is one of the few industries capable of turning heritage into prosperity and story into sustainable livelihood. Africa possesses something the world desperately seeks: authenticity. Our music is authentic, our people are authentic, our heritage is authentic, and our stories carry the heartbeat of humanity itself. As the great Nelson Mandela once said, it always seems impossible until it is done. Today, Africa is providing that impossible things can indeed be done. We are building bridges across borders. We are strengthening intra-African tourism. We are redefining investment confidence, and through gatherings such as this one, we are boldly declaring that Africa must tell its own story in its own voice and on its own terms. Program Director, the city of Polokwane stands proudly at the center of opportunity. We are not merely the administrative capital of Limpopo. We are rapidly becoming a a gateway of economic movement, tourism, growth, logistics, cultural exchange, and continental connectivity in South Africa. Polokwane is a city where modernity shakes hands with heritage, a city where business meets culture, a city where opportunity rises with the African sun. Indeed, there is an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This forum reminds us that the future of African tourism cannot be built in silos. Governments alone cannot do it. The private sector alone cannot do it. Communities alone cannot do it. We must walk this journey together, united by a shared vision for an integrated, inclusive, and prosperous Africa. As municipality, we carry a critical responsibility to create enabling environments through infrastructure development, urban renewal, destination marketing, safety transport, connectivity, environmental sustainability, and investment-friendly cities. Tourism thrives where cities cannot. That is why the city of Polokwane continues to invest in infrastructure, smart city development, environment sustainability, roads, public amenities, tourism promotion, and catalytic economic projects aimed at positioning our city as a globally competitive destination. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa's tourism sector must become a liberation instrument against unemployment, poverty, inequality, and economic exclusion. The child in a rural village must feel the impact of tourism. The informal trader must benefit from tourism. The young entrepreneur must find opportunity through tourism. Only then will tourism carry through transformational meaning. This afternoon, as leaders and visionaries gathered from different corners of the continent, let us not merely exchange business cards. Let us exchange bold ideas. Let us build partnerships that outlive conferences. Let us ignite collaborations that future generations will thank us for. To all our guests, while you engage in strategic discussions and continental dialogue, we also invite you to experience the warmth, beauty, culture, cuisine, wildlife, and vibrant spirit of Limpopo and the city of Polokwane. Here in Polokwane, we say, "Motho ke motho ka batho." A person is a person because of other people. May this forum strengthen the spirit of African unity, innovation, and shared prosperity. Once again, welcome to the city of Polokwane, the city of stars. Welcome to Limpopo. Welcome to Africa's rising future. I thank you.
Thank you very much. A warm round of applause for Councillor Mshamane. Indeed, warmth, humanity, and beauty, that is what is describing us as the people of Limpopo and the people of Polokwane as the city of stars. The African Tourism Leadership Forum is a business tourism event. As Limpopo Provincial Tourism Association, we do have the partners that we work with in the industry to make sure that we ignite the economy of the province by hosting such events. At this point in time, I would like to call on stage the provincial chairperson of SACI, Ms. Kabo Parker, who will give the remarks on behalf of SACI, who is a partner of the LPTA in the province. Let's give her a round of applause as she comes forward.
Good afternoon, everybody. Allow me to say all protocol observed. My name is Kabo Parker. As introduced, the chairperson of SACI Limpopo. It is an honor and proud moment for me as a chairperson of SACI Limpopo to be standing here before you on officially launching the ATLF. It has been a journey, it has been a great journey. SACI Limpopo mandate is to make sure that we grow maize in Limpopo province. Maize being the meetings and events industry. I always say that in the maize industry, it's such a value chain, because we wouldn't be here if we don't have the AV people, we wouldn't be here if we don't have the production, we wouldn't be here if we don't have the conference venues. And Limpopo, in terms of the maize sector, we do have the great facilities that we have to showcase and make sure that the entire province is given an opportunity. I'm quite excited that the Limpopo Tourism Agency gave us an opportunity as SACI Limpopo when we brought the lead to the table to say, please let's bid for ATLF. It will be great to have it in the province of Limpopo, taking it from the country of Botswana. Yes, it is a milestone for us as a province because we are taking it from a country and we are just a province. So we are excited, Mr. Kwache, that we gave an opportunity for us to host this event, and with SACI Limpopo and together with LPTA, our mandate is to make sure that Limpopo is hosting quite a lot of global event. This is an African event, this is tourism, so we're bringing all the tourism leaders in the province, and we will make sure that as SACI Limpopo, we make sure that the value chain is presented all the time. I would like to present as well that in terms of the ATLF coming into Limpopo, SACI and LPTA will be behind ATLF or ATP team in terms of the support. The industry is ready, the hospitality is ready, the car rental is ready. Everyone in the industry is excited to make sure that this event is a success. I would like to thank LTA, Mr. Dibila, the board members, the CEO, for giving us an opportunity when we presented this event to be hosted in Limpopo. In closing, I would like to ask the ATLF team to make sure that SACI Limpopo is all represented, and to make sure that the skills are transferred, to make sure that all the suppliers that have been used in the province are coming from here, and we are empowering the SMEs. In closing, I would like to thank everyone who's here to listen to us in terms of presenting this wonderful event that is coming up. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give her a round of applause. This weather outside that is making us feel so moody. We can do better. I was blaming the CEO of Tourism Business Council to say, is he the one who brought the cold from the south? We are not used to these temperatures in this part of the province. On that note, let me take this opportunity to welcome on stage the CEO for Tourism Business Council, Bo Chifiwa Chivengwa. to give us remarks on behalf of the industry that is supporting us in this hosting of this beautiful event as the Limpopo Tourism Agency, but also as the provincial government. Let's give him a warm round of applause.
So hold on to your seats because I'm going to take a bit of time. It's good to be home. It's not always that, during the week I get to swap my, gardening gear, in exchange for a suit to be able to come here and spend so much time with our political leadership from the municipality, which is the Polokwane municipality. I'm sure soon to be the metro, isn't it? I'm sure we're waiting for that, and very, very soon we will have a metro in Limpopo. That will be a wonderful thing. And of course, from the district municipality, the Capricorn district, probably the largest district within, all, how many districts do we have in Limpopo? Is it 6, 7? 5. So amongst the 5, I'm sure this is the largest district, the most economically active district, the heartbeat of the Limpopo province. And I'm pretty sure that economically is the one that holds Limpopo together to be what it is. So thank you to the political leadership and of course the businesses that are here. Mr. Chair, it's always good to be here. I know sometimes I just budge here. And it's Limpopo, it's home. And of course the board of LTA, the association, Saki, the chairperson of Saki is here. I always work with the CEO of Saki, Mr. Digok, on the national level, on various projects that are going to be very exciting. Some of them are coming up. And of course, colleagues from the industry, CEO of Limpopo Tourism is here, Mr. Ngobeni, Kwache, we've worked together for many, many years. The colleagues online, I heard earlier today, you were saying that there are 72 colleagues online. 79 now, and they're coming from various African countries. I must say, before I get on with this, that the last time we hosted this was in Gaborone, in Botswana. I went there probably 3 times, and the president of the country always comes to the event. And we will fill up the convention center at the Palms in Gaborone, and we'll have many events that are well attended, that stimulate the economy of Gaborone. And I'm hoping that in September, when we come here for ATLF 2026, we bring down the whole city to a standstill and we show them what tourism is about. Because nobody else is going to do it but us. And we've got to put our best foot forward. So there will be guests I know from Togo, from Benin, I know from Ghana, and I know they can hear us. There are those that are coming from Kenya, Tanzania. I'm pretty sure the SADC region is going to be well represented, from Zimbabwe all the way to Tanzania, to DRC, Angola, and of course, those that are coming from Botswana, they can just cross the border. The good thing about those that attended in Botswana, and I'm sure they can hear me, you don't even need to fly. You can just come down. Is it the Groblersdal Bridge? Groblersdal Bridge? You come down, you pass Mogalakwena, you are here in Polokwane. It's not far. And those that are coming from Ghana, we have a connectivity there. Ghana, SIH flies from Accra, and also from Abidjan in Ivory Coast. There's that connection. And of course, East Africa needs to be here. From Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania have to be here. The SADC region, I happen to chair the Tourism Alliance within the SADC region. So we're calling upon the entire region to be here. Those that are in Harare, I'm not going to call by names. They know who I'm referring to. It's just a drive. We cross the border, you're here. This province is well positioned to attract African events into the Limpopo province. Whether you're in Zambia, you can get here. Whether you're in Malawi, you can get here. Mozambique, you can cross the border. Whether you're in Zimbabwe, it's even home. Some of us could be from Zimbabwe. Whether you're from Angola, the list goes on and on. So I think it's quite important that we ensure that everyone is fully represented, the continent is fully represented. And I'm also saying this because I co-chair the African Tourism Partnership Alliance that we've formulated, which we are trying to build up the continent and rally everyone so that we can deal with various issues. And these are the issues of interconnectivity, the traveling between one country to the next. I mean, we're probably the only continent that when you want to travel from one neighboring African country to the next, you probably need to fly to Europe and fly down because of the lack of connectivity. So those are the things that when we have these gatherings, we need to discuss and we need to brainstorm, we need to advance the agenda. I know there's a 2063 agenda of the African Union that advances tourism, people-to-people connection. But of course, we've got AFCTA, African Continental Free Trade Area, where we're trying to advance issues of trade across various African countries. The tourism connectivity is discussed here at ALTF. That's where we discuss how do we move people from country to country, region to region, how do we build connectivity, and how do we build businesses that spans across these different places. So it's very important that when we have this discussion, we put our African lenses in terms of how we can build corridors of tourism across the board. So this is the platform that we discuss those type of issues and we come up with solutions. And I know that when we started the African Tourism Partnership Alliance, the first discussion that we had was in Botswana. In Gaborone, we got into the room and we said, it's all well and good that we talk about these things. There has to be tangible results in terms of how we organize ourselves. And that's when we had the first discussion. And after that discussion, we never stopped. We organized the regions. I know this region in East Africa is very organized. The region in West Africa is very organized. Southern Africa is very organized. And some of us, especially the Southern Africa, we're not even organized by that time. But now we are organized as a region. So there is that aspect that's quite important. So it's very important that when we discuss this thing, we look at these things, and when we gather here in September, which is Tourism Month, we galvanize, various things that needs to be happening within the region. How does Limpopo work with Mpumalanga? That Hoedspruit corridor is very important. How do we make sure that it thrives? How do we capitalize on the connectivity, between Limpopo and Cape Town, which happened last year for the first time? That you can fly directly to Cape Town from Limpopo province. So those things are very important that we capitalize. How do we open air access in that particular region? How do we open air access in this region here in the Capricorn district? So those type of discussion will need to find space, even political support, when we have this discussion, so that there can be results that we can show in the next 5 years. Because this event, when it's here now, there has to be tangible results and discussions and resolutions, the Polokwane resolutions. that will come from here, that will bind all of us across the board to be able to do the work that we're supposed to do. So it's very, very important. And well done to the team, the Limpopo Tourism Authority, the board, and everybody involved in bringing this event here in Limpopo. It will showcase the potential for Limpopo. It will showcase what it has to offer, and I'm pretty sure there will be pre-trips, there will be post-tours, so that people are able to see what Limpopo has to offer. I'm not going to be biased and say, hey, go to Wembe district. I'm not going to say that. I think it's very important that, you know, there's Kukune district, there's Waterberg, but those that are going to be coming here, I'm saying to you, you're in for a treat. It's going to be one of the best organized conference with good pre-tours and good post-tours so that we can showcase what we have to offer. Let me just bring it back home for a little bit from South African perspective, so that if I don't talk about South African perspective, I don't get paid. So I need to bring it closer to home. So one of the things that have emerged is that tourism in South Africa has become a 770 billion rand consumption industry. So that's how much people spend. When we looked at the previous tourism settlement account, so the latest figures that we have, 770 billion rand consumption. That is bigger than agriculture. That is bigger than utilities. And it's certainly bigger than many other sectors that I'm not going to mention. 770 billion rand consumption. What does that mean? It means that in the next 2 years, we're most likely going to be a 1 trillion rand consumption industry. The bigger question becomes, what will be the share of Limpopo from that 1 trillion rand? And that, I think, is something that each province should be seized with. What is going to be the share of Limpopo? What is going to be the share of each district? And what is it that each district is going to do to make sure that it claims its share from that 1 trillion rand that we're getting into? We also know that 1 in 18 people that are employed formally work in tourism. We also know that that one job that someone has in tourism most likely feeds around 12 people, if not more, depending on where they're coming from. In rural area, it's even more. So you're looking at an industry that's almost in direct employment, 1 million employees. Again, that's bigger than agriculture. It's even bigger than mining. Talking about direct employment. I've not even got into the indirect, because if you look at the indirect employment part, you're probably looking at easily another 1 million people that are indirectly employed by tourism. So you're talking about big industry. I know that when we walk around, we don't walk with that, we don't command the room. We should be walking everywhere in the corridors of power, with that walk that the mining executives walk with. When there's a mining in Cape Town, the whole place shut down. Private jets are coming in. Everyone is in there, everyone is negotiating deals. Should be the same in tourism. We are big. So we should walk with power. It's not a sideway industry. This is not a by-the-way industry. This is not a small industry. We are big. And we should walk as big people across the African continent. It shouldn't be only a South African thing. So we should display, when we say it's a big industry, it shouldn't be just big because, it's big. We must also grow with it as those that work within the sector. Because if we don't, no one's going to take us seriously. We're always going to complain, it's mining in Cape Town, everything shuts down. Well, when it's tourism in Durban, everything must shut down. They must know the tourism people are here. So it's very important, big industry. You know, in 2020, there were only 456,000 people working in the tourism industry. Now we're talking about close to 1 million. So, big deal. And this is where, when we talk about solving the issue of unemployment in this country, this is where the solving is going to come from. Hospitality, tourism, and the related sector are the ones that are going to solve the issue of unemployment. And because you can't mechanize waiting table. You can't mechanize taking people on tours. This is done by us. And we need to make sure that we involve young people and everybody else. The last but not least, so our impact on the GDP used to be sitting around 2.9%. That was around 2020, 2019. In 2024, we are sitting at just under 5%, 4.9% contribution to GDP. What does that mean? So for every 100 rand that is produced in this country, 4.90 rand, or almost 5 rand, is coming from tourism. For every 100 rand. So it's very important that we understand that as an industry, we're an industry that is very important to the contribution of the GDP. This is in South Africa. In many other African countries, the GDP is higher. If you go to the Seychelles, the GDP is going to be higher. The contribution of tourism to GDP is higher. You go to Mauritius, it's going to be higher, and you go to other countries, it's going to be much higher than us. The fact that we are 4.9% doesn't mean that, if in other countries higher, it doesn't mean that it's lower. Because you've got to look at it also in nominal terms. It just means that here in South Africa, we've got other big industries, like your manufacturing. We are competing with them. We are showing that we can grow when they are growing as well. So it means that the economy is diverse, and when the economy is diverse, your contribution of tourism is going to be different. In Seychelles, you may find that it's 50%. It's an island. Tourism is very important. It's probably one of the only industries that brings a lot of income into the country. So that's why the contribution is going to be high. So that is one thing that's very important. So for every 100 rand, 490 cents is produced by tourism. That is significant. And this is direct contribution. I'm not talking about the indirect contribution. When we mix the direct and we combine the direct and indirect, we may be closer to between 8 and 10%, which is very significant. So very important that in whatever we do, in whatever deliberations that we have, we need to ensure that we keep it in mind that tourism is not a small business. When Ishisa Nyama is open and there are people who are selling and trading, that is tourism. It's an aspect of tourism. When people come here and they are meeting here in these venues, that is tourism. When there are cameras that are here, that is tourism. When there are buses that are moving people up and down, crisscrossing the provinces, that is tourism. When people go for a day trip to say we're going for an event, someone Mondipoloto, that is tourism. So there are lots of aspects. When you talk about going in to eat at a restaurant, whether at your local restaurants, that is tourism and hospitality. When people are selling at the stadium, when there's a soccer game, they're selling pap and meat and this and that, that is tourism. So tourism matters. And it matters to many people's lives. Sometimes they don't even know or understand. So it's very, very important that in whatever we do, in whatever deliberations that we have, we keep in mind that the work that we do is important to the people that may not be here, because we work for them and not for ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Chief Iwan. Let's give him a round of applause again. Indeed, thank you for reminding us of why we exist as the tourism family in Limpopo. My biggest takeaway for those that are with us, the biggest takeaway for us, the industry members that are here, the reminder that we need to work with power as the tourism industry. So I think it's something that is the biggest takeaway for us. Indeed, we are working tirelessly with the Limpopo Tourism Agency, with Africa Tourism Partners, to put the local organizing committee together to make sure that the hosting of this event become a memorable one for those that will be coming to our shores of Limpopo. We are working as well with our tour operators to make sure that those pre and post tour packages of what Limpopo has to offer are already in place to welcome our delegates. And indeed, one of the competitive advantage that we always use as our unique selling points as a province, we always say we are a gateway to Africa. So we want to make sure that this event always brings a true meaning to that competitive advantage that we have as a province. At this point in time, we have acknowledged the apologies that we have received from the Miss Elshia Grand Corps, who couldn't join us due to other commitments, and also the message from the Secretariat of AFCFTSA, Miss Emily Mburu Doria, who couldn't join us as well. We have noted their apologies. Before I call in to the stage the CEO of Africa Tourism Partners, I would like the tech team to play the ATLF video for us. Over to you, the tech team.
Right, good afternoon, Dubela and Tobela, the guy. First of all, I will observe all protocols, but I also stand on the previous protocols. And on behalf of myself, my colleagues, we would like to thank Limpopo as a province, from the department, the LTA chairperson, the councillors that are present here. We would like to thank you for welcoming us to your home. And we look at the order of Mapungubwe here. It tells us that this is part of the birthplace of Africa. And it means a lot to the continent, and it would be great for us to converge at where we all come from on the continent. And actually, I would say the birthplace of humanity. If you look at the history of Mapungubwe, linking to the Great Zimbabwe and all the other destinations that we can talk about. So, first of all, we thank you, and we say thank you very much for welcoming us. My name is Kwachi Donko, and I'm the CEO of Africa Tourism Partners. Limpopo, to me, is a very special place, and I will tell you why. My first encounter with this country, originally born in Ghana, many years back, I won't give my age away, but I can tell it's more than 30 years, was here in Limpopo. So my first encounter with South Africa, Oral Tambo, Johannesburg, coming all the way to Limpopo, and I know a lot of the villages and the places in this province that you'll be surprised why I know the place. So this is home to me. Now, I would like to say that we are also excited and thrilled that this event is coming to this place. And this is the second time that the event has come to South Africa, launched in 2018, hosted in Ghana, went to, surprisingly, KwaZulu-Natal in 2019, hosted in Rwanda twice, and then from Rwanda it went to Botswana, and Botswana wouldn't allow it to get out of the country. As Chief said, actually before we left, if you, Chief, you remember, the president then, represented by the vice president, said no, they wanted another 2 years of the event. And it changed the face, and it shows what Botswana has to offer with a lot of pieces. And our hope is that we are able to work together with yourselves to make sure that we really connect Africa in Limpopo. So all that we are asking for is to make sure that we all work with each and every one who are here to make it work. There are about 79 to 80 people online, as Chief said, and the DDG also said, and these are people from different countries. In the past, we had about 60 countries connected, virtually and physically, with about 44 connected. But what a lot of the time, with the point that we miss, we naturally focus on the immediate impact of the event. And sometimes we forget about the long-term impact. And there have been a lot of case studies that we can talk about, people that have been connected. And one of them is one of our own. There she sits, but I don't want to put you on the spotlight. She's now got friends in Kenya, Tanzania, Ghana, that she's doing business with. There are guys, I was in Cameroon about 4 weeks ago, and I didn't know, speaking at an event, and one guy came and said that we are the Millionaires Club, and this Millionaires Club was formed from ATP. And the guy who said that was from Uganda, working with some Nigerians and Tanzanians and Zimbabweans. So there are long-term opportunities. And sometimes we only look at, okay, how many nights, how much people spend. We look at the immediate economic impact, and we look at the multiplier. But I can assure you that if we put our heads together and work very well, it will bring a lot more benefits. And as Chief said, there are different components of this event. We look at the long term, but on the short term, we create opportunities for people to network. We are going to work with yourself to collaborate and try and design a program that will resonate and that will bring long-term benefit. And I think a lot of them have already been alluded to by the LOC when we met last week, and also through the chairperson of the board, through the MECs and the DDG's office. So in a nutshell, what we want to do is that let's allow Africa to connect in Polokwane, in Limpopo. And as previous speakers have alluded to, although this is a province, we believe that we can also punch above the weight of the province and make something happen. And we look forward to working with each and every one here, and hopefully we will be able to connect Africa to the continent, not only from the 2nd to the 4th of September, but 2nd to the 4th of September and beyond. As you may have noted, we got a couple of key partners, and sometimes we think partnership just means sponsorship. So a lot of the people that you might see on the banners and stuff are not necessarily giving us money or giving us cash or even support in kind, but there is something that they give that are priceless. And a good example is the UN Tourism. They mention us and this event at every single platform that they will meet. And as the DDG said, today they are with the Zimbabwean president and the Secretary General, and we know very well that Limpopo, in one way that will be recognized because the lady couldn't come. The AFCTA Secretariat, the Secretary General is one of our own, Wamkele is from South Africa, and they've been working this journey with us for the past 3 years. And the event, and therefore Limpopo, since we said it's coming here, is also recognized at that level. And we got many of such partnerships. So what we would like to say is that it's not going to be a very smooth sail, but we believe that working together we can make it work. And on this note, we'd like to thank you. I would like to take this privilege also to thank all our colleagues who are online. I mean, 79 people, we were late for about 30 minutes, they still stayed, and they are from different countries, and some are still talking. You might have seen I was on my phone, people checking what is going on, what is happening. That alone shows commitment and support. And we'd like to thank everyone online on behalf of the event, and the fact that we're also supporting people, but we don't want to see you online this time, we want to hear in Limpopo physically. And as Chief Will said, let everything stops in Limpopo during the 2nd to the 4th. So on this note, I'd like to say thank you for giving us this opportunity to work with you and welcoming us back to Limpopo. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's give Kwachi another round of applause, please. Yes, indeed, Kwachi, what we want to see happening with the 8th installment of the ATLF is to have Africa connecting to Limpopo. And we are really looking forward to the components of this event that will provide those empowerment opportunities for us, networking opportunities for us. I think, Chair, the last time we had a focused conversation around tourism as a province, it was post-COVID 2021 at Tibeka, when we hosted our 2nd installment of the Tourism Lembodla. So we haven't been able to gather as a tourism family in the province, and we are looking forward and we are excited as well with the participation of the members from the SADC countries that will be coming to visit us. And indeed, Kwachi, we would want to be counting their bums on the bed. We forgive them for now to be with us online so that we can be able to share with them some few teasers to be showcasing what Limpopo has to offer. And we also acknowledge and with excitement the contribution that is already there from the partners that we have from the UN Tourism and the Secretariat of the AFCTA, where they are enabling us to be our mouthpiece beyond the borders of Limpopo to say Polokwane is ready to host us with this ATLF that is coming. Tempting, give me a signal if you are okay with the video. Thank you. Over to you. I would need help with the podium.
What makes Limpopo consistently one of South Africa's top destinations? What makes Limpopo consistently one of South Africa's top destinations for international and local visitors? For me, it has to be the hushed serenity of the African bushveld early in the morning. As dawn breaks over Limpopo's national parks, how jealous I am of those waking up in Africa's Eden. In the Kruger, Mapungubwe, and Marakele national parks, exciting game drives await them today. Breathtaking moments of surprise and delight as they lose themselves in nature, stretching past every horizon. Maybe they'll choose a hike in the majestic forest of Mahoba's Roof, or a relaxation day in one of the main resorts right around the corner. Maybe they'll take to the water, embark on an unforgettable road trip, or take flight by helicopter to mother of Limpopo's wonders from the air. If this one South African province, which you are considering for an extended holiday, make it Limpopo, how else could you discover ancient stories whispered in the sacred sites of the Tatefondo Forest and Lake Fundudzi, stand beneath baobabs older than kingdoms, or walk paths carved by our ancestors? Whether you're bonding with your family or on a solo adventure to tick off as many items as possible from your bucket list, Limpopo is a holiday destination you keep returning to. When the sun sets behind the Waterberg Range, you know that you found your answer. Limpopo is a place not just to visit, but to feel. Here, you're not a tourist. You're an explorer, an adventurer, connected to the places and the people. What will your Limpopo be? Will it be a tamed adventure, cultural mystique, or the simple peace of hearing that song before breakfast? Whatever it is, you carry it with you long after you leave. Dream it, discover it, remember it. Explore more at golimpopo.com.
Africa Tourism Leadership Forum is a Pan-African dialogue platform. It brings together key stakeholders of Africa's travel, tourism, hospitality, and aviation sectors to network, share insights, and devise strategies for intra-Africa travel and tourism growth across the continent, while enhancing the brand equity of Destination Africa. It is also the only forum of its kind in Africa that highlights tourism as a major economic pillar to diversify African economies. The forum is convened by Africa Tourism Partners and BDO South Africa. The 6th Africa Tourism Leadership Forum, held in Botswana, was attended by about 600 delegates from 38 different countries across the globe.
I derive some immense pleasure and pride over the fact that for the second consecutive year, fellow Africans from various shores of our beautiful continent are converging in Botswana. Your presence here bears testimony to the important role that travel and tourism plays in our nations as a nucleus that binds us geographically and economically. I'm informed that more than 500 participants from various African countries and the rest of the world are a part of this event here physically, and hundreds more participating virtually, as we've seen just a few minutes ago. This is a clear manifestation for a true spirit of Pan-Africanism, upon which this event derives its political, philosophical inspiration.
In collaboration with AFCFTA, Africa Tourism Partners conducted a forum on tourism, creatives, and cultural industries, which is a pivotal event aligning with the AFCFTA protocol on trade in services. This platform celebrates dynamic sectors, addresses challenges, and advances Africa's economic competitiveness through sustainable tourism and cultural development.
Part of the work we're doing is to ensure that we harmonize policies, the laws and the regulations that actually are part of the tourism sector. So if we are able to harmonize the laws and regulations, we bring about the predictability in the different sectors. So if we bring predictability in the tourism sector, then a tourist is more comfortable, or an investor in the tourism sector is more comfortable, because then they know what I find in Tanzania is what I'll find in Botswana, and it will be easier for the tourists to come and use the services that I have. So our work really is to ensure that that intra-African trade between countries actually takes place.
Simultaneously, hosted with the Africa Tourism Leadership Forum and Awards 2023, this forum ignites intra-African trade and empowerment, reinforcing a unified vision for a culturally enriched Africa.
Well, the importance of attending forums like this is obviously to get more knowledge about the tourism sector in Africa. It's to get to connect with other tour operators and players in the tourism industry to learn more and to connect. We try to do what we call inter-Africa tourism to build a brand tourism with the tourism sector in Africa, whereby we showcase what we offer in our countries to fellow competitors in other countries, and just to build the tourism sector and grow the tourism sector within Africa, whereby we teach Africans to travel in Africa. That obviously helps to grow the economy of Africa, to help grow the sectors of tourism in Africa in different parts of the countries in Africa.
The one thing I love about a forum like this and initiatives like this is that they are literally just connecting all the dots. When we are based at home, or in South Africa rather, the market is really small, and we are building something that is for global recognition. What we have created is something that the entire world would need or love to see or experience rather. So a platform like this really helps us in connecting with everybody that is relevant in the industry, everybody that will teach us something that we might not know. Just the knowledge exchange alone, it's humongous, let alone the marketing and branding opportunities that are there.
Africa Tourism Leadership Forum, igniting intra-Africa tourism through inclusive intra-Africa trade, partnerships, and investments.
Thank you so much for the tech team for playing the two videos. Indeed, the first one has showcased us as a province of Limpopo. When we always say, you can hear it better when it is said by my chairperson, that there is more to enjoy in Limpopo. Hopefully those that are online are already seeing what they are missing out on. They should be able to make sure that they are not here just for the conference kwachi, but also they stay post the event to be able to experience the warmth and the opportunities that are there in terms of destination Limpopo. And also what was quite exciting was to see from the video of the ATLF, the testimonials that come from the participants, what this forum has done for them. And I think members of the industry in Limpopo, already you can see with this opportunity that is coming, the wealth of knowledge, the marketing opportunities that will be provided by the platform. Let's make sure that we seize them and we are able then to walk with power as we have been advised and encouraged by the CEO of the Tourism Business Council. At this point in time, I would like to bring in our dance entertainers to give us an entertainment item. Thank you very much. Let's give another round of applause to our entertainers. We truly appreciate. This is what differentiates us as Limpopoeans. You go anywhere, you'll never find this about us, the culture and the heritage that we have as a province. It's quite indeed. Tech team, I'm informed that we have another video to play before we introduce the chairperson of the board who is coming with the I'll have to call the dancers back. The technology is failing us. I'm told that the screen is off. Can I get the dancers back to read us an item while they are sorting out the technology? Dingo, can you get the...
Why I keep going back to Limpopo? Why? Of all places, this one. Away from the manicured parks and zoos of the world, Limpopo allows you to not just look at nature through bars and glass, but to lose yourself in the nature that surrounds you. Limpopo is far more than just South Africa's northernmost province. It is Africa's Eden and the food basket of South Africa, which also exports internationally. To you and your loved ones, Limpopo can be a refuge, a chance to silence the noise of the modern world and reconnect with what truly matters. And to investors and entrepreneurs, Limpopo will be your gateway to Pan-African growth and launchpad to new ventures and partnerships backed by infrastructure and regional demand. With smart cities under construction, a powerful backbone of tourism, mining, agriculture, and access to cross-border trade routes to no fewer than 3 neighboring African countries, this is a province where nature meets what is next. We invite you to visit our province and to see it in all the ways we do. Both the best office you'll ever have and home. Home to not only the vast bushveld, but a rich ecosystem of soaring mountains and valleys endowed with mineral wealth, majestic baobab trees, and wetlands alive with possibility. Venture far off the beaten track, and you will discover remote lodges, solitude in the wilderness, and new frontiers. You'll encounter cultural mystique, 3 trans-frontier parks, 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and stories not in any book. And in Limpopo, you will find what you came looking for, whether that's inner peace or a sustainable haven for enterprise and investment. What will your Limpopo be? Discover it, invest in it, dream it. Your next big idea may have its roots in Limpopo. Explore opportunities at golimpopo.com.
The podium back. Youth in tourism. Thank you so much, the tech team. Indeed, we have abundance of offerings as Limpopo, if we have the various offerings in the various sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity now to welcome on stage the chairperson of the Limpopo Tourism Agency, Dade Ndrudi Bela, to give their remarks, and in the remarks that he will be giving, he will also be doing the introduction to the Honorable MC who will be walking in very soon. Thank you.
Africa, my beginning, Africa, my ending. Africa, our home, our legacy, our heritage. Program Director, the political leadership of Polokwane Municipality and the Capricorn District Municipality, the tourism industry leadership, the TBCSA CEO, the Africa Tourism Leadership Forum CEO, the CEO of LTA and the administration team, product owners present here, and the members of the First Estate, good afternoon. It is always nice to be here in Limpopo, the home to the Order of the Baobab, the home to the Order of the Mapungubwe. It is our heritage, it is our future, and we who are here in the southern part of the continent are intrinsically bound to all those of our brothers and sisters spread out in our beautiful continent of Africa. When we as the board of the Limpopo Tourism Agency took the decision to go and bid to host this magnificent event, it was because we wanted to indicate to those doubting Thomases that we are part of Africa and Africa is part of us. We have always been speaking about being at the gateway of Southern Africa. We are always speaking proudly about Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique as the countries that are closer to us just as a province. But what have we been doing to make sure that we leverage on that relationship and the closeness in terms of the borders? But when the bid was open and we did bid, and we were granted the opportunity to host, firstly, let's appreciate that we are hosting this on behalf of the Republic of South Africa. We are just a venue in the Republic that is hosting this particular event. And therefore, in all the things that are going to be done towards the 4th to the 6th of September 2026, all the regions of the Limpopo province are going to be having some activities to make sure that a build-up towards the 4th to the 6th becomes stronger. All the other provinces closer to Limpopo are also going to have a share of activity in this particular event, because this event is not for only Limpopo, but is for South Africa, but being hosted in Limpopo. The benefits thereof are going to be spread out to all those provinces that we have got memorandum of agreements and understanding with them, so that we can make sure that we walk proudly in the corridors of power on showcasing that tourism is our life, tourism is our heritage, and those that are involved in tourism can then have the benefits of livelihood that will be the offspring of what the event is going to be showcasing. But this event is going to showcase Africa, conversations by Africans. It is going to be a conversations about our own future amongst ourselves. It is going to be a conversation amongst ourselves in trying to provide the solutions to the problems that are affecting all our people and the value chain that tourism provides, which in themselves, when tourism thrives, then everybody else is going to become happy. Therefore, the centerpiece of hosting this event is going to be knowledge sharing amongst the intellectuals, but also amongst the tourism industry players with regards to how do we want the future of tourism to look like in our beautiful motherland, Africa. But also, we are going to host this event because as Limpopo, we are definitely sure that we have got the capacity and the capability of hosting major events. The diversion with regards now moving into the business events shows that capacity. And we are still going to make up a call amongst you members of the industry that are here to say, come showcase Limpopo, come bring the different other bits to enhance what Limpopo is able to offer in the different experiences. And therefore, our adage, as we say, there is more to enjoy in Limpopo becomes a reality. But also, the hosting of this international event is also going to help that the value chain of tourism benefits. This is a gigantic event. This is a big event in whatever nature you want to explain it. But also, we are going to make sure that all the other different principles that are needed, political, cultural, and all tourism, and all other different sectors and spheres of life are going to be available when the events are being hosted in the different regions as a build-up towards the 4th and 6th of September, and also to make sure that they come and make contributions towards that. The Polokwane resolutions are going to be kept alive after the event. But also is that we are not hosting this as a once-off event. It is an event that must be in the province of Limpopo on behalf of the Republic of South Africa for the next 3 years, so that at all different times we are able to make an assessment of the impact of the decisions that we are taking. Because a once-off event is not going to help anybody. It's not going to qualitatively change the life of the people who are involved in the tourism industry and the value chain that tourism provides. And therefore, for us to can make a mark and an impact, therefore this event must be in Limpopo for the next 3 years. Honorable MEC, welcome. My other task was to introduce the Honorable MEC as the guest speaker, for him to give us the keynote address. In honorable materials, we are speaking about a great supporter of tourism, a great enthusiast to seeing the change of the life of our people, a great proponent of economic development in the beautiful province of Limpopo. He who gets to be counted amongst those who ensures that the livelihood of those of our people in the furthest past of this province, in the rural areas, gets to appreciate and acknowledge that freedom was for them, but also it was about them. And therefore, nothing else can be done without them, and therefore, it means the work that he commits himself to be able to do is to enhance the quality of life of our people in the province. Without much ado, can I take this opportunity to invite the Honorable MEC to give his keynote address. Over to you, MEC.
Thank you very much. We can proceed. Thank you very much, Chairperson. Some people don't know that you were once called Deputy President. So I want to declare it up front that you were my Deputy President at some stage. Of what I won't explain. But thank you very much. Program Director, the representative of the Executive Mayor of Polokwane, my mother, my veteran, the representative of Capricorn District, the chairperson of Limpopo Tourism Board, Mr. Andrew Dipila, Mr. Chipua Chilengwa, CEO of Tourism Business Council of South Africa. I've got a list of people I'm not sure whether they are here, but I recognize all those who are here to give us the support, the board members of LTA. Wednesday is a very difficult day because it's a day which we don't control. It's the day which is controlled by the Premier. It's her day. There are other days, I know, Chairperson, Monday I also don't control. There are days that I control, others I'm not in charge of them. I just do what is needed on that day. But we appreciate that we are here, and the work that is supposed to be done on Wednesday is done. Distinguished guests, members of the media, our most important guests who are here, ladies and gentlemen. This year marks a significant milestone for our country as we commemorate key moments of our democratic journey, including 30 years of our globally renowned constitution. During our struggle for freedom, under the leadership of the ANC, South Africa built a profound solidarity with many African nations, partners who stood with us, often at great cost of their own national security and economic stability. It is in this spirit of Pan-African solidarity that we seek to strengthen and deepen this historic relationship from here in Limpopo, the gateway of South Africa into the African continent. As part of our deliberate strategy to position Limpopo within SADC region as a preferred destination for MICE business tourism, we have taken a bold step to bid for hosting of the 8th edition of Africa Tourism Leadership Forum during the tourism month. This is a calculated move to direct continental and global attention to Limpopo, a province endowed with rich biodiversity, world-class safari offerings, and unique tourism assets. You could hear the chairman bragging about the 3 years. I'm sure you have heard it, and we really appreciate it. Let's put our hands together for the and the words. The province boasts distinctive products and iconic attractions that require strong partnerships supported by research and innovation to enhance our competitiveness within the region. Encouraging, Limpopo continues to perform strongly in domestic tourism. We are very good, Mr. Chwema, in domestic tourism. We remain a very strong contender for our position. I told them I don't like position 2. Even when I was at school, I didn't like that position. I was always someone who doesn't want somebody ahead of me. I didn't like the position 2 and others behind. I didn't like them. I always wanted to be at the front. If you beat me, I will go home crying. So even then, I want them to go back to their position. We are still ranking 2nd nationally after KZN. But if you look at us, if we are number 2 to KZN, that have got the ocean and everything, and we don't have, it means we are number 1. Because those ones have got, we're number 1, basically. It's just that God placed us where there are no oceans. If there were oceans, we're not going to be beaten by anyone. We generated 13.2 billion in revenue, 28.3 million bed nights, with an average stay of 3.7 days. These figures demonstrate momentum. However, they highlight the need to intensify the efforts in growing international arrivals and strengthening tourism infrastructure, particularly air access routes, despite our strategic geographic advantage. That is why, Chairman, we together with the Premier as directed by her, the Polokwane International Airport on the East Cape, they must be strengthened, more especially here, where business people will come for business and want to go. We know that the President has pronounced on the Limpopo, not Gauteng, Limpopo, Gauteng speed train. We don't call it Gauteng to Limpopo. It's Limpopo to Gauteng. Because we know that if it is Gauteng to Limpopo, it might disappear along the way. It must start here going that side, so that it carries our people and assist. Limpopo remains leading destination of hunting tourism, with significant economic spin-off. There are quite a number of countries that want to invest in the international airport. We are just a bit destabilized by the war in the Middle East, because we've got Middle East countries that are willing, because they are also part of the hunting tourism. They really want to invest. I'm just wishing that that thing can stop quickly. We have been engaging them, but we are now engaging virtual, which we were supposed to engage physically and go and engage them to ensure that they do invest. However, there is still untapped potential to grow this sector further, including through hosting major conference focused on biodiversity industry. We need to just focus on that. When you are good at something, focus on it. If we focus on hunting, we can then look at the value chain of that industry. The time is now right to engage African counterparts in meaningful dialogue on how we can collaborate to enhance intra-African tourism consumption and unlock shared value. We had a team that went to Zimbabwe for the tourism fair there. Hosting the African Tourism Leadership Forum presents a unique and strategic opportunity to do precisely that. It allows us to bring together our neighbors and partners to create solutions that promote seamless travel, develop cross-border tourism packages, and strengthen regional connectivity for mutual benefit. When we were in Zimbabwe, you will remember CEO engaging the three provinces. They said to us, that speed train of yours cannot stop in Mzila. It must continue to Victoria Falls. Meaning that they are ready to, we can then connect whatever tourism destination that are there. So they're waiting for it to come here, and then it proceeds to Victoria Falls. So our counterparts are ready. We don't know when it is there, it will proceed to where. Others will also want it to continue to other SADC countries. Limpopo stands ready to host African tourism partners, including UN Tourism and BDO South Africa, on the prestigious Pan-African platform. This forum will bring leaders from across tourism, hospitality, aviation, and investment sectors to exchange insight and drive actionable strategies for the growth of inter-African travel. We call upon all stakeholders to converge in this province, comprising of 5 district municipalities, yet united as one destination, to make a meaningful contribution towards advancement of tourism on the continent. Our province has exciting agreements with transfrontier conservation involving Botswana, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Zambia. These partners will be part of this important gathering as we deepen collaboration for regional economic development. We have also recently returned from Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, where a number of trade agreements were concluded and are now being implemented. Furthermore, the alignment of African tourism partners with the African Continental Free Trade Area will unlock opportunities for Limpopo exporters and strengthen cross-border trade and tourism linkage. Tourism industry players from all 5 of our districts in Limpopo are ready to welcome the delegates and showcase our diverse offering. We are ready. Limpopo is ready. Chairman, you are ready. You are ready. Yeah, Limpopo is ready. Can you put our hands together for Limpopo? From my safari experience to adventure tourism, bedding, heritage, cultural products that are truly unmatched. In the coming weeks, the province will launch a Limpopo warm winter campaign running until the end of July. Because Limpopo is another province where we don't have winter. It's a province of 2 summers. We just have one summer which is hot, another one which is warm. So we don't have winters. A province of 2 summers. So unlike, there is no other province with 2 summers except Limpopo. This will be followed by Spring Campaign and Tourism Month activation, including short-lived travel specials, which will coincide with the African Tourism Leadership Forum. To all delegates, come ready not only to engage, but to experience Limpopo fully and authentically, and to take advantage of the short-lived week. Limpopo is ready. There is more to explore in Limpopo. There is more to enjoy in Limpopo. Go Limpopo. Thank you very much.
Let's give another round of applause to our honorable. Thank you very much, Honorable MEC, for the official address that you have now unveiled, the 8th edition of the ATLF that will be happening on the 2nd to the 4th of September in the City of Stars. Indeed, MEC, we did confirm that the hosting of this event, it will bring a true meaning to one of the competitive advantage that we always sell our province, that we are the gateway to Africa. So we are ready to host everyone else that will be coming through. We are moving now to the last segment of our program that will include the media Q&A. This part will be officiated by the media liaison officer from Office of the MEC, Mr. Hidekani Victor Magwetsi. Over to you, sir.
DDG, I think if you knew my ID number, you would have said it because all my names are out there. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hidekani Magwetsi. Good evening, Honorable MEC, the acting mayors, chair and board members of LTA, including the CEO, colleagues of the media, thank you very much for having made it today. We understand it's been a long day. I'm not sure if there's any other media online. If they are there, greetings to them from the southern point of Africa into the continent. This portion of the evening is set aside for the media, particularly to ask questions, to find clarity, and do that before we round up the evening. So I think we know how we do this. You raise your hand, a mic will be handed to you, and you announce yourself in terms of your name, surname, and where you are, what organization you're representing, and your question. We'll do as many rounds as required, given the fact that you have given yourself time to be here today, and it's been a long day, so I'll reward you with as much rounds for questions as possible. I understand there are 63 media houses online, so greetings to you, colleagues. Without a waste of time, colleagues, this is your time. Please raise your hands. The MEC, the CEO, the chair, and board members are here for those questions to be answered. You are welcome to raise your hand. We'll take your questions.
I can go ahead.
You may.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Hopo Jedewimbi, and I'm part of the African Travel Sisters, which is an inter-travel travel agency, and my sister's actually in Tanzania, but I am originally from Limpopo. So my question is, how exactly are the organizations planning on supporting the youth during this award? And if there are programs around that as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. Next question right next to you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Leon Kola. I'm a content creator for the tourism industry. My question is almost similar to her second question. I just wanted to ask, this is such a big global event. So leading up to it, do we have any activation events lined up, and when can we start activating towards the main event?
Thank you for that quite constructive. Is there next end? Oh, there. All right.
Good evening and thank you. My name is Sani Lerachumela from the Limpopo Connections Bulletin and also Joburg News. My first question goes to Honorable MEC, Mr. Ishtarike Madibe. MEC, please talk to us about the strategic readiness and positioning. What concrete strategic advantages does Limpopo currently possess that will make it compelling and competitive host of ATLF compared to another African destinations? And how are these being actively leveraged in the bid process? And my second question will go to our chair of the board, Mr. Enrique Bella. In terms of economy and impact and legacy planning, economic impact and legacy planning, could you please talk to us about what measurable economic development outcomes does the agency project from hosting ATLF, and what legacy plan in place to ensure long-term benefits for local communities and tourism SMMEs? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we'll close it off on those 4 questions for now. I did say we'd provide as much chance for everyone to answer, but CEO, I see there's a setup there. Normally, it's for the question bearers. So, can I humbly request Honorable MEC? It just makes it easier for everyone to see. Direct all the questions to the corner, including the chair of the board. There can be just one target so that all the arrows can be shot on one side. Could you provide the mic for them? Thank you.
name is Kwachi Donko, and I'm the CEO of Africa Tourism Partner and the conveners of this event, Africa Tourism Leadership Forum. With the first question, is very youth-based. And what I want to say is that the tourists and the investors tomorrow are the youth. Now, for your information, this event has given birth to what we call the Africa Youth in Tourism Innovation Summit, which you are very much aware. And as part of that, there's a critical component that we call the Africa Youth Tourism Innovation Challenge. The Innovation Challenge is basically challenging the young people, young entrepreneurs between the ages of 18 to 35, and those who could be beyond 35 but are graduate students to enter innovative ideas across the tourism ecosystem and beyond. And why we say across the tourism ecosystem and beyond, if you heard what Chief said, and I said it in Ghana a couple of years back when we done it, tourism is everything and everything is tourism. So whichever space that you are in, the work that you do, innovation, entrepreneurship touches on tourism. So for the youth in Limpopo, we encourage you to basically enter. What we are trying to do this year, which our team are engaging the youth in tourism in Limpopo, is to see if we could carve part of it and make it Limpopo specific. The winners would naturally go into what we call the Africa Tourism Innovation Hub, which is basically mentorship, capacity building. We've not gotten to the stage where funding could be established, but that is something we could have with the provincial government to see if there could be a specific approach in supporting just beyond mentorship and guidance, and possibly that could be one of the things we could look into. And I think one gentleman spoke about legacy. So linking to that, that is something that could be explored. But at the moment, the Youth Innovation Platform is there, and you can be part of. The other point, which was not directed to me, but directed to the leadership, was the legacy and the strategic positioning of the province. I think listening to the speeches that were given here, one of the competitive advantage of this particular province, if you want to basically get to the genesis of intra-Africa travel, Limpopo is very well positioned and strategic position. Why? You got Botswana, you got Zimbabwe, you got Mozambique. However, the government can create an enabling environment. An enabling environment the government is creating is bringing this platform, investing in hosting. The responsibility lies or sits with the individuals in the sector to make sure that you leverage this particular. What packages do you create? When people are here, how do you network? How many business cards do you use? And not only that, how do you follow up to make sure there are tangible benefits for yourself? And a lot of that, we put that responsibility on government. And we believe that we should think beyond that. So that is that second point. Then, in terms of trade, one of the key stakeholders we work with is the UN Tourism and Africa Continental Free Trade Area. And that it was alluded to in the submissions. There is opportunity for us to gain insights. We might not be able to deliver, but we know knowledge is power. And that knowledge alone is a legacy that can be left. So I believe that that could be done. In terms of the last point, that talks about the level of activations. This is one of the activations. So as a content creator, I believe that you have an opportunity to use this as your first step for content creation. I'm aware that there could be something that could happen for you during the Youth Month. That could be opportunity for content creation. And content creation activation does not only happen physically, you could also have activation and be innovative at the work that LTA will be doing throughout the year from now to that, and you can connect links between that. So we are going to engage them, LTA, to see where the opportunities lie and how we provide those particular platforms. There are contact details there. Our team are here. There are 3-4 of them. You can talk to them how you could support. The lady sitting next to you says that she traveled with us to Ghana for Creative Connect Africa at her own cost. She came here when we were saying she's technically part of the team. Last night, I'm just exposing that he came from Lesotho and he decided to come straight here for this. There's a lady, the former minister, and I'm exposing her, of Botswana. Her daughter works here. And the mother spoke to me this afternoon and said, I hear the event is going to Limpopo. The first thing he said that, can my daughter come? She's a chef. Can she come to the launch of the event? So this has been, and the next moment I got a call, I'm on my way, I'm here. I'm not going to show who she is. But the Botswana, she's currently the High Commissioner of Botswana to Nigeria, but she makes sure that the daughter come and represent Botswana. And so those are some of the initiative and creativity and proactivity that we can employ to support this. I hope I've responded to the questions. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Moses Loreni, because we've got people online, 63 media houses. As you know, this is not only a South African event, but we are bringing Africa together. So there are a number of activations that we have planned. As you know, ourselves as the Limpopo Tourism Agency will be activating 2 campaigns. One, already the Honorable MEC indicated, the Wild Warm Winters of Limpopo. So the launch is also looming in next month, just when we return back from Indaba. The MEC will be launching at a venue to be announced. And as part of that, we will be rallying behind this event because, like the chairperson indicated and the Honorable MEC, we want to take advantage of our strategic location. We want to take advantage of the agreements that we have with the SADC countries. We have got an agreement with Namibia and also with the 5 provinces of Namibia in the north. We also have an agreement with Botswana, we have an agreement with Zimbabwe and Zambia. And as you know, Zimbabwe and Zambia share Victoria Falls. It's a connector to us as well. We also have an agreement with Mozambique. But other than that, we also have agreement with Gauteng. We have an agreement with Mpumalanga because ourselves and Mpumalanga, when tourists visit us, they don't even see where the boundary is. All they see is those nice things. And I think the CEO of the Tourism Business Council of South Africa also indicated people coming, landing in Woodspray, they don't know they're in Limpopo. All they know is that they are in a safari destination. And when you look at that, around there, it's what we want to make sure that as a province we benefit. Put together practical packages that we can all sell. And we are doing the same. We've launched a route called Limpopo Zambezi with the 5 SADC countries that I've mentioned. And we want to make sure that we take advantage of this conference to talk about that. How do we enhance its activation? It's something that we already indicated to the Africa tourism partners that they might have not come to a province or they went to KwaZulu-Natal. But I think after this, even themselves, wherever they will go, we shall have set the standard very high, as the Honorable MEC and the chairperson indicated. Part of the activations is the plans around the youth in tourism in Limpopo. I think we might be one of the provinces that has got a structure that deals with the youth, a structure that deals with women. We've got practical programs, that as an entity we are supporting. So the youth in tourism have started, Honorable MEC, they've got a structure. We indicated to them, here is an opportunity because ATLF has got a component that deals with the youth. And we would want to make sure that, you know, when the conference passes, we don't only have resolutions, but we've got practical things that the youth are doing. I think the rest, also Honorable MEC and the chairperson of the board will indicate. We are going to have another soft launch when we are at Indaba this year. For the first time, we want to turn KZN around. We are going to host a Limpopo night. Honorable MEC, all the 5 districts of Limpopo are putting together presentations that we're gonna put them in an AV. And part of what we'll be doing is also to promote this. We've invited already all our partners that we have to be part of that Limpopo night. So that will form part of the activation as it has been asked. I think there was an issue around the economic beneficiation. Obviously, an event like this cannot come and it does not benefit, you know, people. We have got a very good partnership with the Saki Limpopo that deals with mice. And not only that, but we also established a mice committee as a province so that wherever we go, we start bidding. Honorable MEC, we just received a request for a bid to bid for an agricultural summit in 2028. These are some of the things that we want to look at because we are the fruit basket of South Africa. But let me not talk too much. I'll hand over to the chair.
Thank you, CEO. On the issues of activations, one of the other areas for activation will be the districts, because those will be laying up a build-up towards the hosting of the major events, because it is through activities in the districts that you are then able to accumulate towards the hosting of this major event. And therefore that it will need close to 2 months to do that, because that's how then we build up towards a major event like that one. Then the second other issue, it is going to be the practical implementation of the agreements that we have with the other provinces. You know, particularly in Mpumalanga, Gauteng, I'm sure that we've got an outstanding agreement that we'll sign in Indaba with the Northwest. And those are also going to be the beneficiaries of this hosting of this major event in our province. In terms of the legacy, the issues around the MICE masterclass is going to be there, because I think for all of us, we have seen how the Limpopo December made an impact. Firstly, it mobilized the whole communities, both in the urban and rural areas of Limpopo. All of us were looking forward to attending different events that were taking place in our province. Remember, the centerpiece of economic development and tourism survival is within the context of how much and how far you host the events, small ones, bigger ones, and also even in terms of the diversity that they are able to can provide, because that then deals with the issue of the value chain of the benefits that goes down to the SMMEs and non-SMME, products. But then I would want to speak about the economic value chain. Simply, firstly, the issue of accommodation. There will be issues around travel. There will also be issues around hospitality. There will be issues around cuisine. There will be issues around township and village tourism, the exposition of what takes place there, of the different offerings, and the experiences that will be getting out of there. There will also be benefits to the creative industry, because part of what we are going to be doing, that's why we have seen in here in the media launch, all our activities are going to be buttressed by the participation of the creative industry. And the more you go closer to the event, it's going to become bigger and better, and therefore the creative industry in our province will become the major beneficiaries of this thing. But also, part of what I call, in the economic sense, the knowledge accumulation is going to be an economic benefit, because When then the conference takes place and the engagement takes place, the conversations, as I've put it, of Africans for African solutions, whatever then comes out of the knowledge accumulated from there is going to benefit within the provision of solutions to the problems, whether in infrastructure, whether in tourism, and all the other different sectors in the economy. And that knowledge can then be able to be utilized to make sure that we move forward, having had tourism conference like this one, having laid a foundation. But also the other area that is going to be important is about brand equity. The hosting of this particular event is going to enhance the brand equity of Limpopo province. And that's an economic driver, that's an economic activity in itself that I don't think we need time to speak about it, but I think from henceforth today, up until the end of this conference, in the whole of African continent, particularly in the corridors of tourism and non-tourism spaces, we will be speaking about South Africa, and in particular, speaking about Limpopo province. So that's the brand equity that when you hold this type of activities, it brings towards the province itself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm just speaking because I've been given the mic. All the answers were given. All the answers were given. But on the issue of youth, out of all my entities, Limpopo Tourism Agency is the one that excels in terms of empowering youth, women, and people with disabilities. To an extent that we said to others, go and learn from LTA because they're doing well in terms of empowerment. So they can't do any activity without even me opening my eyes. I know part of what they will do is to empower the youth. So youth are covered in terms of the empowerment. Activation activities, we have got programs, we have tourism Thursdays, they will go to the districts so that we can then activate this important event. Limpopo is strategically located. Its location is just a masterpiece. We are closer to Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Botswana, all these SADC countries, and we have got partnership with them. So it will assist in terms of activation, economic development. The chair has gone far in terms of explaining that, but what we can indicate is that Limpopo is South Africa's new economic frontier. That is why even on our contribution to the national GDP, we remain number one. If you look at how we're dealing with unemployment and issues of poverty and everything. So this will also be part of assisting us in terms of economic development of the province. Otherwise, my chairman, CEO, and my leader, they've answered everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable NEC. I think we can agree that the answers were quite generous, but I'll open it up for one more round if there are any more questions from the members of the media. Sandile, you asked 2 questions. I'm looking for somebody else. If there are no other hands, I'll come to you, Sandile. And I suppose, given that there are no other questions, we'll close it off. There are no questions online? Okay, great. I suppose the rest of Africa is cleared. Sandile, if the mic can just get to Sandile, please. Sandile, disclaimers. We know you for
no, that's fine. I'm going to take it easy. Okay, my question is about risk and governance. In terms of risk, what risk could delay this bid or event delivery, and how are you mitigating them? And my last one would be, what governance measures are in place to ensure transparency and accountability?
Okay. I think this is the 8th edition of the event. Naturally, the risk issues, one of them obviously is resources. Resources in the terms of funding, in the terms of logistics, in the terms of skills and capacity within the destination, and in terms of creativity. How is that mitigated? I think I spoke about collaboration. So the team, as our team and the host country team work together. And it's not something that, I'll give you one of the biggest risks we had was during COVID. And the event was supposed to happen in Rwanda. It happened twice, 2020 and 2021. We never stepped forward. We never went to Rwanda until a day before the event. But the event was very successful, and you can check it. Simply because we meet, we talk. And I'll give you a case study. I know that the lady standing there, Tinyeko, and my colleagues, yeah, we all had long weekend, didn't we? They were working on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, last night, 7 o'clock, they were working. Personally, I was in the office. Mr. will tell you, I didn't have a long weekend. And this is just a microcosm of the event. So working together works. The third way, another second way of working to make sure you mitigate those risks is stakeholder engagement. And the solution here is very simple. Establishing the LOC to give contribution, to support, to come out with ideas, to see. And the other one is planning and time management. So those are the issues. In terms of governance, I think it's a very simple process. You know, you cannot do anything in this country without the governance process in place. And that is why we have the bidding process. So you get a country to bid, show how much they will invest, what resources they put into it, or the destination. And that I did that. For them, you got a memorandum of agreement, you have all the necessary. And one thing I want to say is that we don't run this as something that we just run. We have to make sure it's successful. And if you fail to plan and fail to put governance in place, you are bound to fail. So we've looked into that. Without that, we would not be sitting here launching the event today. So I think that responds to your question. I don't know if there's anything I've left out. Thank you.
But maybe to close off, the other thing is that in South Africa, any gathering of people that you have to comply with the SASPEA Act. And as the Limpopo Tourism Agency and the ATP, together with the LOC, we're going to apply so that the event also get categorized. And once it has been categorized, whatever risk, whether a low or medium, and I don't think it will be high risk, but between the two, the police will also deploy resources according to the category that they shall have agreed on. So, yeah, but be rest assured, I wanted them to explain what it means and disaster, but as you heard, they even conquered COVID. So, yeah, I believe that in terms of the risk mitigation, we are ready. Governance also, ourselves, we are an entity that is also governed, by the PFMA. We have to do everything also by the book, make sure that we engage with stakeholders or entities that comply, so that it's at that level. And maybe to assure a proper bidding was done through the board approved. And that is the reason why I'm sitting here. Thanks.
I just want to highlight two important things regarding the risk. There are a lot of we know the world at the moment is at a tense moment, global tensions. In terms of the geopolitical dynamic that is happening in the Middle East, as the MEC spoke about the impact. So that and this got to be monitored and evaluated on a regular basis to see, because to impact on flights. People traveling here, we know airfares have gone up. So that will impact on international travel into the province. So we have to look at what measures. So we already got an MOU with South African Airways. They are giving some discount. We've done the same with Kenya, they're giving some discount, which we have to monitor in terms of flight and see if there is a need to look at that. And another big element that we see, I'm sure today you've seen on TV, what's happening in terms of, I will be very blunt about it, the undocumented foreigners and stuff like that. Those create negative perceptions. But we're looking at the work that the LTA and what the minister, I'm talking of the MEC, the chairperson I've been talking about, the fact that there is an agreement with the provinces, with other regions, other countries in the region, all these are way. But to underscore that is what the chairperson said, the brand equity building exercise. And the way you, the media, communicate these things and make sure that it's contextualized so that it's not seen as something that is not it is. And that's the challenge that we have. And Africa, I will emphasize this, we are our own enemies, right? A lot of things happening. We know that last Saturday, President in Trump, dinner with media correspondents, there was a gunshot. We don't see it a lot. 1 or 2 on CNN is over. And if it's not to be Africa, everyone will be leaving the country, travel advisory because of the way we put in the message. So my plea is that let's also try and tell our stories in a positive way. You understand? Every country has its own challenges and negatives, but the way it is done, I mean, that was a presidential event. Imagine if to be Africa, all flights will be cancelled because of the way we media will consider that. And you said, actually, people will go ahead and say the president has been shot and is dead or is in ICU. So please, I think the media should also not always be trying to portray us in a negative way. There are positive stories, and let's focus on the positive and minimize the impact of that. And that's something I would like to underscore. So you can help us to mitigate the risk as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. As we said, we have media houses online, and I understand that we have a few questions for you still. I think we've closed it off here. Yes, 2 questions from online.
The first question will be from Nelson Zengeni, and he's asking, are you going to make a call for all the youth who will be pitching for the Innovation Challenge? And then the second question is from Kagiso Homani, and he's suggesting, would it be possible to have hospitality and tourism students be part of the platform? I think this is more related to probably job shadowing or giving them an opportunity to learn a few skills on site during ATLF.
All right. I'll start with the last one. And I think there is always an opportunity for young people to be part. In the sense that we normally will have ushers, we have volunteers, we have the Youth in Tourism Innovation Challenge. And actually the 2 people sitting behind that, the one who asked the question on behalf of the people online, and the other lady are responsible for these things. And they are young people and they are driving these initiatives. We give direction. So I believe that they can engage and reach out. In terms of the youth challenge, as I alluded to initially, I think in the echo from the youth in Limpopo, he attended one of the events. In the last LOC meeting, I indicated that you can engage our team to see how we do the Limpopo. Okay, showing something on the floor that could be discussed. So definitely there is an opportunity, but we got to be intentional and we got to be proactive. And with due respect also, I think the young people should also realize that you've got to be proactive and be intentional and go for something and ask. Don't always sit and wait and think that it will come, because there are how many youth in the province who want the opportunity. So we'd like to encourage you, approach the team. The worst case you get, the worst answer you get is no, and no doesn't kill. Like, you don't know how many no's we've received in our lives before we get to where we are. So please, we ask you to engage. In terms of capacity building, as the chairperson said, there is always the first day is focus on minds, and in last 2 years, we focus on entrepreneurship, sales, and business development. So that gives you the base. So there's a lot that you can get from Village Youth. And there is always what we call the sustainability village or exhibition. If you are a youth in business, just approach either Limpopo ourselves and say, I have something that I'm saying. You heard the people that were speaking on the stand. There were some of them, there was a lady, the last lady was a young person from South Africa who came to Botswana. We didn't pay for her, we didn't sponsor her, she came on her own. So we would like you to be proactive and engage. The worst case will tell you, sorry, we cannot help, but we never say that. We always give recommendations and suggestions when we are approached. Even where we cannot help, we do. And I can assure you, I personally mentor more than 500 young people across the continent who can call me any day, anytime, and ask for ideas. Not all the ideas are great. And not only me, we got a mentorship set of people that always help. So please, just engage us and do what we can to help. Where we can't, we will make a recommendation or advice. Thank you. I hope I've responded to those questions.
Oh, see you are.
You want me to hold the I think the response was comprehensive, but we do have partnership with our universities, and our schools, and the Department of Education. We saw it during NTCE. So if there are any opportunities we can provide for our young, but especially those that are in universities, TVET colleges, and everywhere, we can activate that through LT. We are ready to support them. Because sometimes it's good that you assist them when they're still there at that level, so that but they must be innovative. What we want is innovation. If they bring innovative ideas from TVETs, universities, we are fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Nisi. Yes, clear. Limpopo is ready, and that's the highlight in the bold of it. Without further ado, I think we're done with this session. I'll hand it back to DDG Flora.
The facilitator of the Q&A session did not complete the job by asking the participants to go back to their seats, and the MEC is asking. Thank you so much, Mr. Magwete, for facilitating the last part of the program. When you are in a flight, the pilot will say, cabin crew, take your seats, we are about to land. May I take this opportunity to welcome on stage Councillor Mamabulo on behalf of the Mayor for Capricorn District Municipality to give us the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Program Director. Honorable MEC for Limpopo Economic Development and Tourism, Mr. Matibe. Acting Executive Mayor of Polokwane, MMC, Councillor Mashawani. Distinguished guests, representatives from UN Tourism, AFCTFA, Secretariat, Africa Tourism, partners, Limpopo Tourism Agency, Tourism Business Council of South Africa, SAICI, leaders in tourism and business, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, members online, good evening. It is indeed a great honor and privilege for me on behalf of the people and the leadership of Capricorn District Municipality to deliver this vote of thanks at this successful launch of the 8th Africa Tourism Leadership Forum and Awards. Today's gathering has once again demonstrated that tourism remains one of the most powerful drivers of economic growth, investment, cultural exchange, and job creation across our continent. We are proud that Limpopo continues to position itself as a gateway for tourism, excellence, and innovation in Africa. Firstly, allow me to extend sincere appreciation to our capable program director for steering this program with excellence, professionalism, and energy. Your guidance and ensures that today's proceedings flows smoothly and successfully. And we thank you most sincerely. To the acting Executive Mayor of Polokwane, MMC Mashawani, for special planning and local economic development. Thank you for your warmly welcome, all delegates and guests to the host city. Your support in making Polokwane a destination of choice is highly appreciated. Allow me to express our sincere gratitude to our guest of honor, Honorable MEC Matike, for officially launching this prestigious program and for your unwavering commitment to growing tourism and economic development in our province. Your leadership continues to inspire confidence in the future of Limpopo. We further extend heartfelt appreciation to all our strategic partners and stakeholders, UN Tourism, AFCTA Secretariat, Africa Tourism Partners, Limpopo Tourism Agency, Tourism Business Council of South Africa, SAGI, and all sponsors and organizers for your vision, collaboration, and dedication in bringing this important continental platform to our province. To members of the media, thank you for your presence and for the critical role you play in promoting tourism opportunities, telling Africa's stories, showcasing our destination to the world. To every guest, delegate, and participant here this afternoon, thank you for honoring this occasion with your presence and energy. Your attendance reflects confidence in Limpopo and in the future of Africa tourism. As Capricorn District Municipality, we reaffirm our support for initiatives that stimulate tourism, attract investment, and create opportunities for our communities. Together, let us continue to market our province, preserve our heritage, and unlock the full tourism potential of our beautiful region. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your participation. We wish you fruitful engagements ahead and an enjoyable networking evening. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the media launch for the 8th edition of the ATLF that will be taking place on the 2nd to the 4th of September, right here in Miropa, the City of Stars, being the Polokwane municipality as the host municipality. To the members who joined us online, thank you very much. And those that are physically here, dinner will be served, but before we start with the dinner, the members of the media have requested a photo session, Honorable MEC, that will be led by yourself with the chairperson of the board, the CEO of Africa Tourism Partners, the CEO of LTA, board members, and the councillors, and the CEO for Tourism Business Council and Saki. Mr. Mangwenze will guide where the photo session will take place, but before we serve the dinner, let's allow the photo session to complete. Then our dignitaries will be the first ones to serve, and they will then have dinner in the holding room that has been arranged. Tandy is standing right at the door to direct, and after our dignitaries has served, everyone else we can follow, and that is the networking session. To the members of the media, please run with the positive stories to say Limpopo is open for business. Hashtag there's more to enjoy to Limpopo. Hashtag, please, Miss Beck, I don't want to call you by name.
What?